I've decided to try a little experiment that, one of my subscribers came up with the idea. His name is I'm a Junk Collector. He said, what would happen if you took one of these 78s and stuck them in the dishwasher and washed them? Turn the heat off. Of course, I can't turn the hot water off on ours because that's the only water that's fed to it, but I can turn the heating element off. So, what we have here is a really piece of crap 78 RPM. I mean, it's in fairly good condition, but it's just terrible song. It's just awful junk. And I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and use that as my test case. So let's see what happens. I'll just go ahead and throw it in there and then go on to bed. And tomorrow morning I'll come out and find out if we still have a straight one or a warped one or just a blob. Okay, the mess is cleaned up and we're down to just one more piece of wood. And that's the one around the commode pipe. I just went under the house and loosened it up so we can just lift that right up out of there. I have no idea what we're going to find under here. That's a thick piece of plywood. It has been changed, so apparently there was a lot of rot that took place here. Well, we got half of it up. The old toe kick saw came in pretty handy on this. Check out the back of this radio. Now the antenna is a couple of pieces of welding wire with a hunk of metal threaded down the wire. And this is the rear of the radio. This is the radio on top, speakers at the bottom. Let's go around the other side. There you go. Look at here, we can even look down there and see the parts. So you think your radio has to be perfect in order to play. I picked up a new toy off of eBay the other day. It's a Sencor color generator. And it's a CG169 Color King 4. And it comes with, the 75 ohm cable that hooks into the back of the television. It also came with a 300 ohm Ballon adapter. It's a transformer, matching transformer. You've seen these before, only they're much smaller, little brown jobbies, and they didn't have the red leads on them. I picked up a couple of connectors for them this morning at Radio Shack. I put one there, and I put the other one right here. These are male-to-male F connectors. Makes life a whole lot easier for me. And the lid is right there. Now the lid has a mirror in it. This is the old lid right here. Sencor CG169. And it has a mirror in it. What you do is you set it out in front of the television you're trying to align, and that's what this thing does. It provides patterns on the screen which enables you to align make adjustments at the rear of the TV so the patterns look good. That's basically all it is. And that's the mirror you look at the TV screen with. Kind of a nifty little setup. You turn it on, and then set to the channel you're going to work with. In my case, it'll be channel 4. And then you start setting your patterns. Horizontal lines, vertical lines, crosshatch pattern, white dots, single line cross, and a dot in the center of the screen. And then all the way around this way to color bars. Well, I don't have a color TV, so all I would get is white. And it only cost me $5 for this thing. I'll try to demonstrate it before the end of the video for you. Matter of fact, I'll even let you look at the inside also. These are the two filter caps and this one. So I'll be looking around for a couple of caps at Radio Shack this weekend. I also took the cover off the circuit board down here. Everything nice and clean down in here. The only problem I can see is they repaired a run at the factory. That's a factory repair. Just a wire that crossed a break in the run. I've seen those before. That's it. It looks to be in really nice condition. Of course, I'm going to have to clean the wafer switches. You can see how tarnished and black this one is right here. I've got a couple more like that. That's not burnt, just tarnished and black. And another one down in there. The standard stuff. Looks pretty good so far. Well, the first sheet is going in, and I've got to go into the house now and mark the hole for the commode where it was over in this area here. Then I got to cut that hole out. Alright, let's see what we got here. It's the next morning. Let's see how, at least that record didn't melt or get warped or anything. Oh, that's not too bad. Well, the redness on the label's kind of faded a little bit, but well, I tell you what, the old record looks really nice. Really nice. Even feels nice. Got a little scratch right there. Well, there she is. All the flooring is in. Every seam is perfectly level with the one next to it. And I did the best job I could, you know. I'm not an expert, but I saved quite a bit of money. Even got the closet all done. I think it looks real good. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to lay down a one-piece vinyl. And I don't like the idea of tile with seams in the bathroom, unless it's ceramic, of course, and with grout between them. But standard old tiles with seams, water always gets between those seams and always lifts those tiles. So I like the one piece. Water gets on it, no problem. And we'll be making a pattern for that here pretty soon. Take it out in the carport. We'll use paper to make a pattern on the floor. Then take it out in the carport, lay it on top of the vinyl, cut it out according to the pattern, and it should fit perfectly right on there. Well, there you go, folks. Listen to that. It plays great. Unreal, huh? Look at here. Look at it. Lit up and operating. Amazing. And again, here's the back of it. One of the workstation radios at the manufacturing plant where I work. So all you guys that say it's got to be clean and spotless in order for it to work properly, wrong. This was the floor pattern we laid out in the bathroom. That's the closet and the door casings on both sides. And taped it all out, got a nice pattern, and then brought it out here and set it down on top of the vinyl. And then you took a pair of scissors and cut all the way around the pattern. It has to fit as long as the pattern was done properly. And these are the remnants of the vinyl. The next step before putting down the vinyl is to go over every screw head with some spackling or some kind of floor leveling compound, something pretty tough. And you know, when you put your screws in, you put them down below the surface, the top surface of the wood. And if you just put your vinyl on top, after a while you walk on every single screw at every sunk in spot where the screw heads are is going to show on that vinyl. So you level it off, level each of the screw heads off, let it dry, go back over it one more time to make sure they feel smooth, and everything is good to go. Then you go ahead and lay down your vinyl or your tile, whatever you want to use. Well, that's it for one weekend. I am pooped out. It's been a long road. But we got the floor down, got the linoleum down, there, the vinyl is what they call it. I still call it linoleum. And this is the sink. It'll probably wind up going. But she turned out real nice. I've got to put the molding and the baseboard molding along the edge, but that's it. You know, we're done here. This turned out much better than I expected. Looks very nice. Got lucky one more time. And we have a brand new faucet on our house. Old Brendan, he recommended I buy one of those frost-free types, you know, where the line goes all the way in. The valve is actually way in underneath the house. You know, that's okay for up north. You know, he's from Michigan. But down here we don't have that kind of a freeze-up problem, so it's just not worth $30 for a problem that really doesn't exist. So we're good to go now, though. Works great. We have a little update on Mac here. He's got to go Monday to the groomers again. His hair's getting a little long. But he's got an infected tooth. So in about 45 minutes we got to take him to the vet. And the vet's going to pull out one of his canine teeth. Poor little thing. That makes 13 teeth he'll have had pulled. Poor little feller. We got to get rid of that old bad toofer. Yes, we do. He's wanting a snacky right now. But he can't eat before he goes out and gets put to sleep for that tooth extraction. Oh, a couple of months ago, wifey put this basket of, I think it's fake flowers out here and set it on this stand for no particular reason, just wanted to get it out of the house. And a little house wren came along in this spring, and you see a little hole down in there? Right down in there. Made a little nest down in there and sat on those, and now we've got little tiny birds, There's just about 3 or 4 baby birds down in there. She's been feeding them, working real hard. They're sleeping right now. See if I can zoom in here a little bit. There they are. Well, our potatoes are coming along pretty good. Today's Wednesday. Saturday, I think it is. Yeah, probably Saturday. I'm going to go ahead and fill it up the rest of the way, right up to the top of the barrel. And as you can see, the plants have pushed their way all the way up from the bottom. And that's quite a push all the way down there, I'll tell you. And we'll get it filled up, and that's it for the year. We're just going to let them grow after that. Hopefully they'll grow. More plants will show up. They'll grow over the top of the barrel. It's going to be really interesting to see if I get potatoes out of here. Probably the biggest problem is to make sure there's plenty of water all the way down to the bottom. I don't want them soaking wet, but we don't want them to dry out either. So maybe next year I'll put some watering pipes down in there to assist me. Maybe right down through the center. That'd probably be a good spot. If this doesn't work too good this year. Remember, this is the first time. Nothing but an experiment. In this box is something I've been wanting to order for a long time, and I just kept putting it off, or I'd forget it, or whatever. It comes from Old Heathkit Parts. OldHeathkitParts.com. And it goes on a HW101 transceiver. This is what the tuning dial looks like on a Heathkit HW101. This is what mine looks like. Just, you know, pretty flimsy actually. It's not a very strong dial, it's flexible. Well, not anymore. That's not what mine's going to look like anymore, because I have a color-coded dial. It's broken down by class of license. The yellow being advanced, the green being general, and the red being extra class. The blue over here is the CW, or the Morse code, and all the gray area is out of band. You can listen to out of band, but you can't transmit out of band. So this is what's going to be going on my HW101. I've wanted one for a long time. Makes things a whole lot easier. Here it is installed on an HW101. Looks really cool, I think. Beats that old black and white jazz. And it just looks neat, you know. And it comes with instructions. Here's a little close-up here. You gotta admit, that's a whole lot better in black and white. And it has the instructions down at the bottom of the page that it's a three-step process. He shows you 1, 2, 3. And there's also written instructions that come in the package with the dial. They're inside this little deal that tell you how to remove it and put it in. And if you ever want to go back to the old black dial, which who would ever want to do that? The guy even says so on his webpage here. Who would want to go back to that old black and white dial when you have this fancy new color one? And you can put it back to the original if you wanted. Cool stuff. And the best part I like about it is it's very sturdy plastic. The one on the radio right now is very flimsy, but this one, really tough, really tough. Lasts for years and years. So if you have a HW101, you want to kind of, jazz it up a little, go ahead and pick yourself up one of these on oldheathkitparts.com. They're not cheap, I'll tell you that. It's $24 plus $5 shipping. In order to hook up your color generator, all you have to do is hook the coax cable to the back of the TV. Or if you have the 2 screw types, the old 2 screw types, you use that matching transformer. You hook it to the coax cable, and then hook the other connectors to the 2 screws. Then you come over here, and of course you plug it in. Then you come over here and flip the switch on. And normally this light lights right here, and I just had this unit on, so it's not lit right now. But this light lights up, and it goes out when it's a heater. When it reaches 80 degrees, it'll go out. So it's already at 80 degrees. So we've got our channel set to channel 4. I've got the television set to channel 4. And that's what I get with the color bars. Just white and gray stuff is all. Since this is not a color TV. If this were a color, I'd get all kinds of colors. And then we'll go to horizontal lines. And keep in mind, you go to the back of the TV with your mirror in the front and you make your adjustments till everything looks really cool. You don't want any slanted lines or ripply lines or weird stuff. There's your vertical. Same thing with this. If the lines are curved, you can straighten them all out, most of them anyway. There's a crosshatch pattern. White dots, lines of dots. Line them all up left and right. As you can see, the dots over here are farther away than they are over here. That's the edge of the TV. And then we've got a single cross line. And then we've got a single dot right in the middle. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's right there where my finger's at, right there. So that's what it, and then of course, you have your knobs to make your adjustments and everything. And it all works in conjunction with the the knobs on the front also, and the fine tune on the channel selector. So that's what a color generator is. I think when I was a kid we used to call these things color bar generators. I remember people referring to these things as a color bar generator. So that's it, folks. That's what I bought. You know, wifey's had me busting my hump the last 2 weekends in a row. I'm not getting a whole lot of radio time. Yesterday, my grandson and I we weed-eated all around both this side of the house and the other side of the house, 2 full acres. I'll tell you what, I am exhausted. I've still got trees to trim and everything. But anyway, while I'm relaxing now, she's out there mowing the yard. All the places we didn't weed eat, so she can just mow until her little heart's content. Good way to end the video, huh?